Hello everyone. Reactions to Meghan and Harry on CBS are in. Take a look at the cringe. What the hell am I watching? I froze for a few seconds when I saw that. I couldn't believe it. Meghan's reaction made me sick. Everything that came out of Harry and Meghan's mouths was fake and unbelievable. To be honest, I was astonished by that. It's an entire package. CBS Viacom, they are usually weird about things, but they did put it up. And you'd think they'd want to turn off the comments on this one, given Harry and Meghan's tendency to censor everyone, because the comments are flooding in, and I'm ready for them. So I thought we could chat a little bit more about this train accident. Let's have a look. So it's been up on YouTube for just over 2 hours, and has received slightly more than 8,000 views. To put things in perspective, and let you know that is bad. It just seems unbelievable to me. I don't get what CBS is thinking. They don't think they're just seeking for a paycheck. What are their thoughts? Having these two chatted about anything and everything. I went through it all yesterday. I am not going back through it. I'll just become mad. But the internet of it all, you know how YouTube is about certain phrases and the substance of it all. Again, these two believe they are equipped to speak with parents about any aspect of parenting, let alone everything else. Latching on to these unfortunate folks and playing the victim, this is just horrible behavior. I thought they couldn't be any worse. But then they did this, and it continues to astonish me, because I don't believe somebody can be this awful. However, here we are, Harry and Meghan. How are you doing? I thought we might look at some of the things that were expressed. It's not that I'm attempting to increase their participation, but I just find this whole situation totally unacceptable. And I wanted to know how in the world so-called journalists could not ask them a single question about what their followers had done, or their bullying allegations. Harry and Meghan have both been accused of bullying others in the past. So why wasn't that pointed out? How can they have these folks discussing such serious matters without questioning them about their own accusations? Many people defended Thomas Markle and discussed his online experiences with all of this, but they never contacted him. How could they possibly advocate for others? It's mind-boggling how deep the hypocrisy is here. Many people have called them out for their lack of sincerity. It's shocking to watch how they talk about their children. It's strange to see. As a parent, you usually gush about your children. These two are incapable of doing so because, God forbid, someone accidentally receives more attention than themselves. I would say Meghan in this case, but he appears to be equally responsible. Another thing I've seen is that they rarely follow through on anything. Pick anything. They do not follow through. What's going on with ARO? Nothing. That 40 project? Recall a couple of years ago, on her birthday, she said she was going to conduct this huge program to support women, but she never followed through, and nothing came of it. What else? I am unable to follow through on my commitment to the royal family. You name anything, they can't stick to it. It's too hard. Podcasts lack consistency and are uninterested in producing new content. Maybe people didn't want to listen to the topic, which is okay, but I'm saying they don't stick with anything. So they make these announcements, playing on people's anguish and sadness. By the way, someone dubbed her a sorrow grifter. And whatever you are my freaking hero because it is great. She is a grieving grifter. They're both grief grifters. They're capitalizing on other people's tragedies to gain attention for themselves. And that is disgusting. So many people complained about him not being able to get her help when she reportedly needed it, right? Remember how they attempted to blame it on the family, but never could explain why Harry couldn't do anything to help Meghan if, and I use a large if there to emphasize the if. She was actually battling with the things she claimed she was struggling with. In my opinion, she was doing it to get attention. That is my opinion. But if she was actually in distress, he couldn't get her assistance. But now, he can strive to help others. I felt this individual made an excellent argument about parenting, child loss, and so on. And yet, they just went through this, where they completely defied Pat Tillman's mother's pleas that they not be engaged and accepted the award. Correct? That they or he did not merit. But he did it nonetheless. He ignored her. He did exactly what he desired. That is what they do. So now, you're going to try to sympathize, help, and advocate for it. I'm not sure what they're pretending to do for these people, but we recently observed them do the reverse with a mom who had lost a child. A million comments like these, asking why you never call up the Sussex Squad. That is something I've had a lot to say about. They put Boozy in the Netflix documentary, and then he goes on this horrible tirade. There are just so many filthy and awful things. And again, we've heard accounts of them meeting with them, calling them, and congratulating them. We've heard allegations ranging from who is paying them to everything in between. And the fact that they haven't condemned the vile attacks, despite the fact that we can all see and are well aware of them, tells me that they fully embrace it. They are fine with that. It's because, the rules do not apply to them. So there is something else I noticed and always intend to discuss. They are surrounded by a lot of bad things. Sometimes it slips my mind, but what about African parks? There has been no mention of it. Again, they claim to offer people voices. Nevertheless, they will ignore anything that does not suit them. Do you see? I mean, that is simply another layer of hypocrisy. It is disgusting. And then I noticed a number of people saying, CBS, consider yourself, Markle. Yeah, it probably happened with the Oprah of it all. This was something I said in yesterday's film while discussing this and other significant issues related to self-harm. Again, you understand YouTube's sensitivity. During I wouldn't even call it an interview, during this self-congratulation video that we saw, Meghan says, "Oh, I wasn't expecting it." Talking about it would bring up the statements she made about taking her own life. Okay, she's pretending she has no idea what they're going to talk about in this interview, but I understand why you're there. And then she says, if I speak up about what I've overcome, I'll take a hit for it. It's been extremely difficult for me, but I can be a martyr and be strong for others. I can be a beacon. I don't understand what she's trying to express. You can't make sense of anything, but everyone can see she's grasping onto it, playing the victim and making it about herself. Unbelievable. Again, if you didn't watch it, which I don't advocate, and I wouldn't even click on it here on YouTube, you didn't miss anything. There were no highlights. The more fascinating bits were actually shown in the previous clips. It was the fact that Harry and Meghan couldn't bear each other anymore and couldn't disguise it from the cameras. I remember they used to disguise it better. They don't even pretend anymore. And then someone pointed out that she tried to grab for his hand, but he refused to accept it. And I think that's hilarious. But people, I'm going to leave it here. CBS has been clearly marked. I'm here for it. I wonder if he figured out yet that his family didn't force her to wear beige. Haha, looks bad, right? Harry practically confirmed the bullying in his own book, and yet they want to preach to us. No thanks. In his Winnie book, didn't he say he called his therapist after the dog bowl broken necklace incident? So he has his therapist on speed dial for that stupidity, but couldn't get his wife help when she was having desperate thoughts. These two liars make me sick. Especially, what really gets me is the way that the sewer squad bullies people, yet complain that the skid Markles are being bullied. Shame on CBS and Jane Pauley. Cringeworthy interview. How did JP allow herself to sink to their level? You know, when Meghan was confronted about her bullying of staff, she snapped back with, "It's not my job to coddle people. It's not her job to be nice to people she deems as her inferior." Only a pure bully would say that, right? As for Harry, didn't he drag his suicidal pregnant wife to Cirque du Soleil instead of getting her help? They're not qualified to be lecturing others about first responders or bullying. He's no first responder, and she's a bully who made staff shake with fear. Imagine a woman who completely ignores her ill father and denies him any visits from his grandchildren, trying to be an authority on bullying. She is the epitome of a cruel and nasty bully. Honestly, the lowest of the low is taking advantage of kids and grieving parents. Bullies and drug abusers shouldn't be giving parents advice about anything. I wish the parents had asked Harry why he still encourages drug use. I didn't watch and never will. They are horrible people. Certainly, no one believes that a person in the royal family wants to get an appointment with a psychiatrist or psychologist but is not able to. No one. Of course, The whole thing is such an obvious lie. There are also 3 versions of it. In one of them, she was alone, holding Archie in her arms while tidying toys away. In another, her friend Abigail Spencer was there, and it started in the driveway. Another version says Harry was there and holding her hand. The worst part, she was smirking while talking about it. Really are suicidal thoughts funny? Don't think so. Her eerie smile when she said, "But I'll take a hit for it." What hit would that be? Meghan, you've dragged bereaved parents in to talk about their grief, but you're taking a hit? Is there anybody more insensitive than she is? She is like a robot and Harry is zoned out. 2 liars whose reputations are finished. Not only that, she looked a fright. Hideous wig, too many nose jobs, and hand clawing at his knee. Clothing that looked like she was wearing grain sacks. That dull, sludgy color does nothing for her. The trousers did not fit, just looking like a boxy mess. Insincere, fake, huggy, flicking the wig. Obscenely expensive necklace. He looks like a hostage. Temper just about remains under control. When he blows, it's going to be big. My best advice is that those parents need to get away from the Harkles as soon as possible. Those parents are very vulnerable, and the last thing they need is Meghan chewing them up and spitting them out after they have served her purpose. CBS, shame on you for using those parents as well. Anyone with a brain knows those parents should have had professional counselors giving them advice. Not the Harkles. The Harkles online safety bill has passed in the Senate. If it passes in the House of Representatives, we will be losing our First Amendment rights as we know them. We all need to contact our congressman or woman's office and tell them to vote no. Well, I want to know if you agree with all the information I just gave. Please share with me your true thoughts. Thank you very much for watching my video. Don't forget to support us by liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. We will try our best to create more attractive and interesting videos. Please support and accompany us for a long time. Now goodbye, and see you.